Om Shri Matre Namaha.
But disciple, a realized soul, Nityayukta Yogi, he was Jivan Mukta of the highest order. Pranam Sri Sadguru, Pranam Swamiji, Pranam Sri Vishnu.
I'm not very sure whether I'm qualified to talk about such a great soul, but Swamiji has commanded me to do so, and so here I am. When I first came to Sadguru, the first darshan, that was the time when I had darshan of Sri Vishnu Mohan Swamiji also. During subsequent darshans, I had an opportunity to see him and observe him in close quarters. He rarely spoke. As the Sevartis had mentioned, he was talking to them and joking with them. But that was not so with the general devotees. He rarely spoke. But what struck me was an otherworldliness about him. I felt even at that age, I must have been in my 20s then, he was very different from any person that I had ever met so far. That was the impression that I had. Much later, I came to know about his greatness. And even though he hardly spoke, he was here, there, everywhere, and an unmistakable stamp was there in every activity that was happening in Sri Peetham. Right from the time we kept our slippers at the entrance, and to every activity that happened in Sri Peetham, we could see an unmistakable stamp of Sri Vishnu Mohan Swami. So that was my first stint. The second one was after I got married and went away to Delhi. I used to write long letters to Sri Sadguru, and replies used to come to us through Sri Vishnu Mohan Swami. He would give us some instructions as per Sadguru's command as to which temple to go and worship and so on. And every month we would get Vibhuti and Kumkumam Prasadam, and all devotees would know about this. And the packet na the paper packet adha irukum apdiye alava edutha madiri ada fold panni apdiye tight ah irukum. Those packets were sent through post, and konjam kuda adukulla indha thuli kuda velila vandirukadu, and it was very difficult to open those packets. Avlo tight ah ada pack panni, such perfection in his work. That is what struck me, and that also gave me an idea that in the spiritual path, you have to be perfect in whatever you do in your day-to-day activities. Idhula perfection illana spiritual path la nama perfection adaya mudiyadungiradhu vandu idhula inda I learned. Then much later, he had attained Siddhi, and he used to write letters to us in Delhi. I mean, giving Sadguru's instructions and so on. And even today, I have preserved those letters like great treasure. Then, much later, after he attained Siddhi, and Swamiji was guiding us, he has been guiding us still. He once told us that if you lose anything, you can pray to Sri Vishnu Mohan Swami and get it back. And sure enough, many times we've had this occasion when we have prayed to him and we have recovered whatever we had lost. I'll give you two examples. In our puja room, we have Kalinganardana Krishna, to which Ramdas does Abhishekam every day. And அவரோட சிரசில் வந்து ஒரு மோதிரம், ஒரு நெலி, அது sits snugly on his head, like a kiritam. So one morning when Ramdas was about to do the puja, he found that this kiritam was missing. So he said he thought அது வந்து அந்த நிர்மாலயத்தோட ப்ராபப்ளி அதோட போயிருக்கோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு we searched the நிர்மாலயம், அதில் பார்த்தோம் கிடைக்கவே இல்லை. எவ்ரிவேர் we searched and it was very sentimental. அது பகவானோட சிரசில் இருக்கிற அந்த ஒரு கிரீடம்ங்கிறதுனால ரொம்ப மனசுக்கு வருத்தமாக இருந்தது. So that's the first time we prayed fervently to Sri Vishnu Mohan Swami. For a whole day we would have searched, and suddenly Ramdas looked beneath the dining table and it was there. I don't know what made him. It is a very most odd place, to find such a thing, and it was there. And another situation was recently Sri Pidam Marana Aniki, konja seekram Marana, and we were all, both of us were ready. As we were leaving the home, Ramdas couldn't find his car keys. ரொம்ப அவசரம், வீடு ஃபுல்லாக தேடிட்டோம், கிடைக்கவே இல்லை. அகெயின் நீங்களே சரணம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவர்கிட்ட ப்ரே பண்ணிட்டோம். Within the next few seconds, something made him look into a particular shirt which he had not looked, and we got it immediately and we could make it to Sri Pidam on time. இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய இன்ஸ்டன்சஸ் இருக்குது. A thought may come, இவ்வளோ பெரிய ஒரு சோல் விஷ்ணு மோகன் சுவாமி மாதிரி அவர்கிட்ட போயிட்டு ஒரு சாதாரண ஒரு சாமானத்தை கிடைக்கணும் அப்படிங்கிறதுக்காக ப்ரே பண்ணிக்கிறது கரெக்டா அப்படின்னு ஒரு தாட் வருது. பட் தென் ஃபார் அஸ் சத்குரு விஷ்ணு மோகன் சுவாமி சுவாமிஜி இவாக்கிட்ட தான் நமக்கு என்ன குறை இருந்தாலும் இவாக்கிட்ட தான் நம்ம சொல்லியிருக்கோம். ஈவன் டு சத்குரு வி வுட் டாக் அபவுட் ஆல் அவர் வேர்ல்ட்லி மேட்டர்ஸ். ரொம்ப ரொம்ப சின்ன சின்ன விஷயம்லாம் போய் சொல்லுவோம், அண்ட் சத்குரு வில் கிவ் சொல்யூஷன் பிகாஸ் ஷீ நோஸ் ஆர் லெவல். ஸோ அதே மாதிரி I'm sure Vishnu Mohan Swami would forgive us for being, he also knows our level. At the same time, we should, and we do pray to him so that he guides us. Since he is the epitome of Guru Bhakti, he knows what exactly we need to do to reach Sadguru. Sadguru has always told that if God is happy, I am happy. So we have to think, if Sadguru is happy, we are happy. So how to make Sadguru happy? That is something which Vishnu Mohan Swami is guiding all of us. Pranam to Sadguru, pranam to Swamiji.
Pranam Sri Vishnu Mohan Swami and Pranam Swamiji. It's a great privilege and honor to talk about a very great and a divine soul, obviously. The beauty is, it's Sadguru's comment I should talk probably, but I haven't seen Sri Vishnu Mohan Swami. I haven't seen him. But it was after his Mahasiddhi, I came to Sri Pidam in 98, and in West Mambalam, one day after Seva, we were all sitting to take permission to leave. Then I could see one a great soul, probably it was Sri Vishnu Mohan Swami leaving Peetam, and probably had that vision, probably was impressed by the seva we are doing. I think nothing else. And many times Sadguru has told everyone, like he is around. Even Prasad's sister, elder sister was saying, I could see him standing adjacent to Sadguru near the Peetam. So probably that was the only time I had seen him. I had the blessing and the privilege probably to see him, and I heard a lot about Sri Vishnu Mohan Swami. Such a great and a perfect in work, meticulous in work. Any work, see, like he has done a lot of furniture without any nails. There's something Sadguru used to often quote. And work, any work, like photography, you see, like labeling, documentation of the work. You see it, what is not the print, if it not, it will be labeled struck off, so that it is not necessary to look into. So the all were doing seva subsequently had no issues because the marking, documentation, everything was very perfect. And I remember an anecdote, that was time computers had just come. And so it was decided, Sadhguru's command, we should buy a system for Peetam. Obviously, it has a lot of benefits for that. So it was ordered after due deliberations. It was ordered, it came, and the engineer who came to install it, then as usual, Sri Vishnu Mohan Swami was asking doubts and all. Then subsequently, the doubt was so much, the engineer turned and asked him, "Are you an engineer?" So this was the level of doubt he could ask. Like Parsuram ji was saying, it might be just in as if he is in the process of learning. In fact, he'll be guiding us. So level of knowledge was just amazing, and that Seva, and he was a typical role model. Prathama Sishya being the role model in anything, being unassuming, being very humble. And as someone was saying, if Sadhguru has not allotted any work, I'll be happy meditating, as he was in Mantra Siddhi. So he said, he has frequently told us we should be like instruments, and Sadhguru will choose the instrument as and when the work arises. So if you are into Guru Bhakti, and if you are so very advanced in Guru Bhakti, you will be a tool, you will be frequently used. So we have to qualify for that. So unless you be qualified for that, you cannot expect some work. So unassumable, it should be doing your duty to the best of perfection, surrendering at the lotus feet for the fruits of the labor. So it was like we are just talking. He was in fact executing it. So that is why the level of bhakti was quite high, and I have no words to say, because every anecdote is just far out. Nothing, it is beyond comparison. I understand if he was more of a divine brother for many of the devotees here. I understand, because the experiences each one talks, I understand it was so very comforting, counseling, in fact goading you to higher levels, not sticking to. We tend to relax on the material world. We think we achieved something. It is not so. Goading us to move to higher levels, because he has seen the benefits of it. He wants all of us to achieve. Like Sadhguru always tells us, you can, because when I can do it, you can also do it. So this is one thing, a lesson we have to take it from his life and way he conducted the proceedings in Sri Peetam, and being a role model, guiding us when needed, and obviously punctuality and discipline and humility are the hallmarks of any great soul, more so of Sri Vishnu Mohan Swami. I thank Sadhguru and Swamiji for the rare opportunity to to talk a few words about Sri Vishnu Mohan Swami, and I have nothing more to say. Such a great privilege. Pranam to Sadhguru, Pranam Sri Vishnu Mohan Swami, and Pranam Swamiji. Narayana.
Pranam to Sri Sadhguru, Pranams to Sri Vishnu Mohan, and Pranams to Swamiji. To talk about him, I've heard a lot. I was born in the year 2004, so I sadly missed him to speak and to have his presence. From whatever I heard from my mother when we speak about Sri Peetam, my grandmother's anecdotes, and how deeply he instilled values, ethics, and was a guiding light to a family. He was, from whatever I heard from my family, what I realized was he was a man of few words, having an ocean of expressions and wisdom. So whatever he spoke probably was every word had a spiritual connection and an expression, and guiding our family and the devotees of Sri Peetam at the right time when there were too many choices, and also when it was very difficult for the devotees to go speak with Sadhguru Ma, and he would come, and at that time he would enlighten the devotees saying, "Idu correcta pannu, idu pannu" appadinu. And when we also, last week when I was speaking with my mother, so she was telling that he was a very, very talented person, and with the harmonium he would play it very nicely, and the guitar and English songs he would sing a lot. And she also named a few, but I don't remember right now. Be the birthday celebrations or something, he would have his guitar, he would start singing. And last week when I was talking with Swamiji about the art and stuff, he said how Sri Vishnu Mohan used to go to Hindustan Trading Company to get the brushes and everything, and he was such a big artist. If we all, personally for me as a very young person, if there is anything to take, I think there's a lot. As he says in the Upadeshams and in the groups, as I read, he was Sadhguru Ma's first disciple who set a standard for Sharanagati and a standard for Guru Bhakti. Though I have not seen him, I always remember him when I pray, and his phenomenon still radiates in our family. Every time Sri Peetam Pati pesna, Sadhguru mattum illama Vishnu Mohan's Sri Vishnu Mohan's topic also used to come, and it used to be so vibrating. The pesna vane for the next 2 minutes, I used to feel very elated for some reason, and the effect is still there. And I always pray and pray to Sri Sadhguru Ma, Sri Vishnu Mohan Ji and Sri Swami Ji, that I always follow the stand of Guru Bhakti and learn whatever I can from Sri Peetam. Thank you. Pranams to Sri Sadhguru, pranams to.
One of the things is we learned how to look at Sri Sadhguru and how to give respect, and how to really to whatever extent we could understand Sri Sadhguru through his words. So that was how we actually learnt it. For some of us, everything about spirituality literally we learnt from him, from his words and how he interpreted it. At that time there were some of us, we were little, maybe still in our 20s and interested in lots of, things like, maybe motorbikes, different kinds of equipment and other things in the world around us. And we found to a surprise that he knew as much, if not more than us, about all those things. And he could actually, actually show us a different way of looking at the world around us. Literally, if we see our lives today, even the small things that we do, I realize that almost everything is connected with the way that he would look at it and he would do it. So, small things like, keeping Sri Peetam clean, and we would do certain kinds of work and all that. So, in those day-to-day things, we could see his greatness, and he would guide us in doing those things in the right way. I think some people also mentioned, devotees also mentioned the fun-loving side of him. So I'll just mention one very small incident. So once when we were all sitting there, this garden lizard, it's called Arane. So this Arane suddenly appeared there, and then it also disappeared. But he was saying something, and in my mind only that garden lizard, that Arane was there. So is it going to appear at some time? Is it going to, kind of do something? So I think he probably realized that was there in my mind. And then quietly when I was just sitting, he just did one movement like that. So I thought it's Arane. I got up like that, thinking it's Arane. But then he laughed at me and said, "So you had it in your mind all the time. That's why you kind of reacted like that." So that was one thing which came to my mind. And there was a lot of guidance we got relating to even the worldly things like a job and career. He would ask us a lot of details about the kind of work that we did and how we were faring at work, who were the people we were interacting with, how our interactions with our boss was, and things like that. And some of those things he guided us in a very, very detailed way. On the spiritual side, of course, almost all that we learned, which was the way how to interpret Sri Sadhguru's teachings, how to interpret really what is sadhana, how to do it, all those things we learned from him. But it's ultimately it is this balance of life, that you have to be in life, you have to be in the world, and yet you have to be spiritual. And how do you do that balance? Remain externally normal, but inwardly be very, very God-centric. I think that is probably the greatest thing that I've personally learned from him. We also heard that in Lord Shri Krishna's life that he mastered the 64 arts and sciences in a very short period in the Guru's ashram. We have heard about that. And I think we have seen that actually in Shri Vishnu Mohan, a person who knew everything about everything. There was nothing that he didn't know. And it had just been mastered, effortlessly. And we would wonder at it to see the width of that knowledge and awareness. And we would, we knew that we had a lot of things to learn from him. It's a very great good fortune that I've had personally to have that interaction with him. There are many experiences. Literally one can fill a book with it. But I think these are some of the things which give glimpses of a very, very unique opportunity which I had, for which I'm eternally grateful, and very, very humble and very grateful to have had this opportunity to share some of these few points before you. Thank you so much.
Hari 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 Patasi Pushpa Sankasham Haranupura Shobhitam Ratna Kankana Keyuram Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Hari 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 Kutiralaka samyuktam Purna Chandra Nibhananam Vilasa Kundala Dharam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Hari 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 Mandara Gandha Samyuktam Charuhasam Chaturbhujam Varhi Pinchava Chudagam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Hari 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 Yadavanam Shiroratnam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Hari 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 Hari